Hi everybody, sorry I've been away for a while. I was sick and coughing, and I'm still coughing a little bit, but I feel much better. Somebody sent me a video with dating advice or like advice for men. And in the past, I have seen these videos and found them awful. And I thought I would watch this and see if it's also awful. So here we go.
And the topic of today's short talk is what men don't understand about female selection.
Oh, great. Okay. Can't wait. Let's go. Let's go.
And this has afforded the current generation a uniquely privileged position to understand female mating and dating behavior more clearly and precisely than ever before.
He said female. Okay. Why am I watching this? A man who says female, I mean, it tells you everything you need to know. We know that, right? Okay, let's go with it. Also, like, dude, I want whatever he's got to make his eyes that wide. Like, I've never been that alert for anything.
Hypergamy, the tendency to mate and date up, to choose men who, for example, are taller, stronger, richer, and higher status.
Okay, here's the first thing I want to pick up on. I've seen this before, this idea that women only date up. It's not that I necessarily disagree with it. It's more who are the men who are apparently dating down so much that it becomes a gendered condition? Like everybody tries to date up. That's the whole thing. Like, how many men do you know who sit down and go, well, she's ugly and I don't like her and she has an obnoxious personality, but she's a high value female, so I'd better date her. Like, dude, everybody tries to date up. That's why it's so terrifying to tell someone you like them, because if they don't feel the same way, it's a direct hit to your ego and your self-identity. You've identified them as a being of higher value, whatever the hell that means, and they've not reciprocated.
Hypergamy influences almost every aspect of female sexual selection, and it has a number of significant downstream consequences, so it's really, really important to understand this concept.
Dude, you can just say normal words if you want.
When a lot of men, especially young men, learn about women's sexual selection criteria, they get really discouraged. They hear that women are only interested in the top 10% of men.
And the thing is, when you tell somebody that you like them and they don't reciprocate, it is horrible. This is not like I'm not going to pretend that that's a nice feeling. It's happened to me plenty of times, and it's really not. It's really horrible. But if they don't reciprocate your feelings, it's not because women are evil or women only date strategically or men are victims of the woke mindset virus or red pill or I don't know, whatever you've heard on some basement dwelling virgin's TikTok account. It might just be that they don't fancy you. And that could be for any number of reasons, but perhaps your insistence that women are looking for the top 10% of men, or women are evil, or women only date strategically, or men are victims of the woke mindset virus, or red pill, or whatever the hell you've heard. It doesn't make you sound edgy and educated and ahead of the game. It makes you sound like someone who is desperate for a life of futile virginity, never knowing the touch of a real woman or the feeling of self-respect. And anyway, sorry, what was my point? Yeah, people don't date down. People don't date down. They sleep down sometimes. And by sleep, I mean sex, but I couldn't think of a verb that wasn't rude, so I went with that. Men will sleep down, obviously. But then, let's be honest, so will women. Well, you think there aren't girls or women watching this who haven't made some questionable decisions in their lives once or twice? Come on.
I.e., the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
Oh, I could have lived without that.
They look at themselves, think, well, I don't have anything a woman is really going to want, and conclude, why bother? And on some level, it's like, fair enough.
No, it's not. No, it's not like fair enough. No, because if you look at yourself and you think, well, I don't have anything a woman is going to want, well, get something then. Read a book, work on your conversational skills, listen to people, learn an instrument. I don't know, do something that makes you interesting. Like, if you think the love of your life is out there, but she won't date you unless you're over 6 foot or make more than $500,000 a year, then she is not the love of your life, you idiot.
These men may be rashly concluding that a high-risk, low-reward endeavor doesn't make sense for them.
This thing about when they learn about the criteria for women's sexual selection, it's like, don't you learn about their criteria by just being around people? Like, we learn what people's criteria is for sexual selection by spending time with people. And also, remember, the 80% of women are looking for 20% of the men thing is total bullshit. The Pareto principle, while a principle that holds true in a lot of things is not about that. Because firstly, by that logic, 80% of men are also looking for 20% of women. But also, go outside and touch some grass. Like, look at couples. Is every single couple you see made up of one of the top 20% of men? Because if it is, the odds of that are unlikely. And also, how are we judging the top 20% of men? In what? Height? Penis size? I mean, a side note, if you can tell that just from somebody walking down the street, then yeah, probably they are in the top 20%. But that's not the point. Salary, ability to do DIY, entertainment, humor, dress sense, the car they drive. What is a top 20% salary? Is it just more and more money? Because more and more money means more and more hours of working, which means less and less time spent together building a relationship. So is that all these women want? Well, if it is, hooray! Because now you can look for what's left of the women who are actually after someone to build a partnership with and be a teammate with.
If we were talking about investing their money, we would call this decision prudent.
Yeah, but we're not, are we?
And no one would have a problem with it. On the other hand, lots of people seem to have a problem with the same decision being made about women. These men need to grow up, man up, stop sniveling, and frankly, fall in line.
Yeah, that's it, actually. That's exactly what these men need to do.
This is hardly fair and would likely make a good topic for a future video.
Would it?
However, my point here is that these men misunderstand the payoff of hypergamy. After all the time and effort expended to align with the criteria of hypergamy, the payoff is not that a woman has ultimately provided security and material resources, or even that a man is offered sex and a relationship. The payoff is the growth and prosperity that redound to the man as a result.
No. The payoff is not about what the man gets. The payoff to a relationship that works is what you both get from it. It's a relationship. It's not a pizza. You don't get less because she gets more. In fact, mind blown, you get more if she gets more. Jesus Christ, read a book.
Well, a top 10% man can only indirectly benefit a woman, and then only if she can acquire and maintain access to the man.
What?
However, a top 10% man directly benefits himself. He directly benefits from being stronger and wealthier and higher status.
Yes, your own personal development should be your focus, right? Your strength, your self-identity, and your worth are determined by your own inner strength. But also, the idea that being of value to other people doesn't directly benefit you is insane. Because of course it does. Like, you shouldn't be doing it for other people, but you can help other people by working on yourself. Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Now, before I'm going any further, if you're liking what you're hearing,
I'm not, honestly.
And tip me in proportion to the value you feel you've received from this episode.
Okay, I'd like my money back. I didn't send anything, and do you know what? I'd like you to pay me.
A smaller subset of men get fired up. These guys are energized by what they see as a viable path forward. They think, fantastic. With this information, I can kind of hack the game.
No, you can't. You can't hack the game. Because, do you know why? Because it's the wrong game and she's not playing it.
I can analyze what really works with respect to mating and dating, and I believe that I can bring myself in alignment with female selection preferences. I can get rich. I can get fit. I can get smooth. Let's go out there and get this bread.
Oh, God. I mean, yeah. Fit, rich, and smooth. That's the only way anybody would ever get married. That's why I got married, because I'm so in shape. I mean, I am in shape, but the shape is round. Rich, loaded. I've been a teacher for 19 years. I just do this for fun now because I'm so rich. And smooth. Absolutely. If you've ever met me, you know, absolute Riz. A-star Riz game. Did I actually just say that? Oh my God.
The fact of the matter is that women don't actually give sex in relationships to men simply as a consequence of men meeting their selection criteria.
Oh my God. Are we only just learning that? Yeah. Women, okay. let me say again, if you are pursuing the idea of a relationship and calling it a relationship because you want to have sex with the person and nothing else, you are not pursuing a relationship. You are pursuing a chase and a notch on your bedpost. And I can't imagine why women wouldn't want to be considered that. God, like, fine, go sleep with somebody, go have casual sex with somebody. If you're both consenting and you're both happy with what's going on, great, go ahead, knock yourself out. I mean, maybe don't knock yourself out, but have a good time. But this idea that, oh, now I've got rich and now I've got fit and now I'm smooth, whatever that means. I mean, other than smooth brained, I guess. So now I should get sex. No. You're not entitled to sex at any point. But what about no? No. But what about if no? No, just no, you're not. Deal with that.
The idea that doing behavior X will solve problem Y is a masculine problem-solving strategy projected into women.
No, it's the wrong problem. Doing X will solve problem Y if you know what the problem is. If the problem is women don't want to have sex with you, then the solving of it is not about you making loads of money, right? People have been having sex with people with no money for a long time.
Men hear that women want a guy with a six-pack and a six-figure income, and they think, great, if I get these things, if I'm finally what women want, then that means that women will reward me with sex and relationships.
Oh, no. If your mentality is that sex is a reward, grow the fuck up. Like, what are you, a puppy? What, you want a treat because you got yourself a six-pack? Like, you idiot.
Same mentality that believes, okay, if I buy her a drink and listen to her problems and show my value, then she will reward me with sex at the end of the date, writ large.
Yeah, and that's ridiculous. That's why it doesn't work. Of course, that's why it doesn't work. Who are these men? I mean, I know who they are because I've met them, I've seen them, and they need to be buried under a patio somewhere. If you listen to her problems and if you pay attention because you are interested in the human being, even if it is just a physical attraction, I'm not saying everybody you go out with or everybody you fancy has to be the love of your life and your soulmate. But if you are simply prowling around for somebody that may or may not let you touch them in a special place, of course they're going to see through that because you're going to be so transparent. Oh God, is this going to get worse? I feel like it's going to get worse.
Sure. All other things being equal, a woman is more likely to choose a guy with a six-pack and a six-figure income over a guy that doesn't have those things.
Is she? Okay. Well, I'm glad my wife didn't. And most of my friends' wives and most of my friends' girlfriends and my mum and her mum and just about everybody I can think of.
These things might make it easier for a guy to get his foot in the door, but it's better to consider meeting women's hypergamous criteria as a necessary but insufficient condition of sexual opportunity.
His foot in the door. How romantic. I'm sure women are simply falling at the feet of men who consider them a door to crack open.
Even if you have all of the things that hypergamy says that women are looking for, a good-looking brain surgeon can drink at the bar by himself all night.
No way! A good-looking guy could drink alone at a bar? This just in, ladies and gentlemen. Water, wet. Sky, blue. Ice, cold. Toddlers, loud. Fire, hot. Huge if true. More as we get it.
And this is because, despite the fact that the man may have worked 10 to 20 years to meet women's hypergamous criteria, he has to start from scratch with every new woman he meets.
No, he doesn't. He does not have to start from scratch. The first thing, if you've spent 20 years building a career as a brain surgeon because you want women to have sex with you, then take a long walk off a short pier. What are you doing? Second of all, start from scratch. He's not building a fucking Lego Death Star. You learn and you develop and you grow and you try things out and you get them wrong and you try and do it with a smile and with some confidence and people like you and then people trust you and that increases your sense of self-worth and that increases your confidence and then you meet someone new and you're not the same person as you were before and then you do it again and then you do it again and so on and so forth. Women are not a monolith. I mean, I can't understand why these people don't grasp that. And this is still only presuming that men only enter into conversations with women as a precursor to sex because I don't know, like, the laws of the jungle don't exist anymore and we all have to pretend to be civilized when in the medieval ages men would just have sex with whoever they wanted and it still happens in the animal world. Yeah, that is probably true. It is true. There isn't buying people a drink between two lions or two monkeys and I mean let's ignore all the science that shows how a lot of them mate for life and raise their families and all of that stuff. Like I heard this before. There's a clip going around TikTok and Instagram of this guy saying, 500 years ago, a 45-year-old man sleeps with a 15-year-old. Who cares? First of all, probably her. Second of all, okay, so you want to live in the medieval ages, do you? Okay, well, we'll take your looks maxing and your hot running water and your internet and your gym and your social media presence and your reliable shelter, your functioning society, and you can go and work in a field for 26 hours a day for no money whatsoever, and let's see how happy you are then and how likely you are to succeed in relationship. Also, jumping on a woman without consent is still rape, whether it's in the medieval ages or not. And as for the animal world, trust me, buddy, if we lived by the laws of the jungle, you wouldn't be surviving long enough to get your end away. Packs don't tolerate weakness and uselessness. You'd be left alone to get eaten by a lion, and then, just like the women you meet in your life, it would be left ultimately disappointed and totally unfulfilled by you.
And he will still have to start at square one, which for a lot of women means convincing them that he's not a serial killer. Like, can you imagine a job interview 20 years into your career in which the interaction begins with the default assumption that you're a fraudulent embezzler until proven otherwise?
Yeah, of course I can. Can I imagine a job interview 20 years into my career where I have to convince them that I'm not a wildly unprofessional criminal? Yeah, that seems to me like a job interview, especially if we're talking about, the sexual marketplace, for want of a much better term, given the fact that, 1 in 4 women in America will experience sexual assault at some point in their life. If I was interviewing for a job where 1 in 4 people embezzled funds or were serial killers, yeah, I would expect to have to prove that I wasn't one of those people.
And this is what happens with women. They have to feel safe. They have to feel heard. They have to feel like you're attracted to more than their bodies, etc.
Oh, women, am I right? God, wanting to feel safe, wanting to feel heard, wanting to feel like you're attracted to more than just their physical appearance. God, what kind of world are we living in when a man can't...
And if you say one thing that they don't like too early in the interaction, poof, the opportunity vanishes in an instant.
Yes, and that's how conversations work. That's how interactions work. That's how it works. For God's sake, that's how job interviews work. If you walk into a job interview and say something absolutely scandalously stupid in the first 5 minutes, you might go through the whole interview, but you're not getting that job. That's how it works. What did you think happened?
Indeed, you have to begin with women right where you would have if you hadn't spent 10 or 20 years building your status and lifestyle, namely at 0.
No, you don't.
And if you spent all that time on your abs and income and you never learned how to seduce a woman, you're probably not going to get as far as the guy who spent a year learning how to seduce a woman and has neither the abs nor the income.
If you've ever taken a course or read a book on how to seduce a woman, then well done. You've been scammed and you deserve it. I mean, given that so far from this video, women's needs or wants seem to be relatively basic. Don't be a serial killer. Listen to her. Maybe you could just work on that and see where it got you.
The idea here is that you can have all the markers of a high status man, and it's still not going to be easy with women. You will still have to approach and make an effort and seduce effectively. It may change if you're in the top 0.001%. I'm not sure. I'm not there yet. But it definitely doesn't change in the top 10%.
So you are there, is what you're telling me.
Being a high-value man does not lead to effortless sexual opportunity.
If you go into every interaction with sex as the end goal, then I don't know lots about women, but I think she's going to smell that on you a mile off. You know why? Because desperation is ugly and people reek of it. Losers reek of it. Don't.
You could be a neurosurgeon underwear model who makes 7 figures a year.
I actually am those things as well as being a teacher. I am also a neurosurgeon underwear model who makes 7 figures a year. Because I was already rich from being a teacher, but now I'm like extra rich from all the underwear modeling and the neurosurgeoning. You should see me with a surgerying a neuron. God, I tell you what.
And the woman is still going to ask herself questions like,
does he remember the day we met? Did he open the door for me? How do I feel when I'm with him? Does he make me laugh? Does he look at other girls?
Oh, the voice. Very good. Very, very sophisticated. Yeah. Also, you just listed a load of questions that are perfectly reasonable questions, right? Just saying, I like the voice. Don't get me wrong. No notes. Very good. I'm rolling around laughing. I had to stop this video so I could roll around a bit, laugh, do a quick neurosurgery, and then come back. But the voice.
Behind the hypergamous criteria of the female sex is an almost endless list of personal criteria of an individual woman. Failure to meet any one of which is subject to removing the sexual opportunity, no matter how many other criteria are met.
Yes. And again, that is how it works.
Meeting hypergamy's criteria does not guarantee sexual opportunity.
Yes. And again, that is how it works.
Both of these misconceptions tend to have the same outcome. Namely, they generally motivate men to walk away from women. And that's certainly what we're seeing more and more of today.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could all agree probably that if that was the worst thing that happened when men are rejected from sexual advances, that would probably be okay. But that's not the worst, is it? That's the thing. It's not, is it? And I think you know that.
What do you think? Does this fit with your own experience? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've gotten this far, you might as well like this episode and subscribe to this channel.
I'll do you one better. I'll make you a whole video. No, it does not equate with my experience, and I thought this video was terrible. I hated it. But this process was quite cathartic. So let me know in the comments what you think. Should I do some more of this kind of thing? I mean, it means having to watch this sort of thing again, and maybe you don't want to do that. I'm not sure I want to do that, but I do quite like getting it out once in a while. And I'm not going to pretend that I know everything, by the way, but these mental health gurus or these sexual opportunity gurus, who find themselves around the internet with nothing better to do, if their argument can be completely destroyed by simple logic and a basic understanding of I have met women in my life, I wonder what they think they're going to achieve. Anyway, thank you if you stuck with me this whole time. I really appreciate it. And hey, let me know what you think, and I'll see you soon. Bye.